Hello there, welcome to Jade Between Pages. I'm Jay, summer between pages in the warmth of ink and quiet. Let's see what today's thoughts whisper. Today's page is about a play I first encountered when I was in my second year of college. Back then, I read it because it was required, because it was one of the books we had to analyze because I needed to pass. That's really the goal. But now, reading it again, I realize something. Some books do not stay in the classroom. Some books wait for you to grow into them. And this page is actually based on an analysis I wrote when I was in my second year of college. Back then, I was trying to explain the story. Now, I think I'm trying to understand life a little more. This play was written in 1904 by Anton Chekhov, and it is called The Cherry Orchard. It is a story about change, about loss, and about people keep talking about life, but cannot seem to change it. There is a line from a character named Epikhodov. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly. I forgot. I'm an educated man. I read various remarkable books, but I cannot understand the direction I myself want to go. Have you ever felt that? You study, you pass exams, you read books, but you still don't know where exactly you're going. While reading The Cherry Orchard, one idea kept repeating in my mind. Words are easy. Action is harder. The character in the story talked about change, talked about working harder, talked about saving their home. They talk and talk and talk, but they do nothing. Until one day, everything is gone. And that made me uncomfortable because in some way, I saw myself there too. I realized something about myself when I was in school. I procrastinated a lot, and sometimes I feel awfully proud of that, which is utterly wrong thinking, right? I even made a speech about procrastination somewhere in between. So much that I would only start working when the deadline was very close. I would cram, always. I would rush, always. I would feel out of breath trying to finish everything on time. Sometimes I blame it on too much coffee. And because of that, my work was sometimes not as good as I knew it could be. Not because I wasn't capable, but because I ran out of time. And I noticed something else. I always had plans. I planned to change. I planned to be more active. I planned to change myself. I planned to step out of my comfort zone. But they stayed as plans. And that's when I realized plans are comfortable. Action isn't comfortable. And sometimes we hide in planning because we are afraid of starting. Like, at least I have a plan, right? Have you ever told yourself, I'll start tomorrow. I'll change next month. I'll try when I'm ready. I'll bounce back next time. But tomorrow becomes next week becomes next year, and suddenly you realize you have been waiting for a version of yourself that never arrived because you never started. In the cherry orchard, some people lost everything, not because life was unfair, but because they kept delaying decisions. They kept hoping something would change without them changing anything. And I think that is a very human thing to do, which should not be normalized, okay? We wait, we delay, we avoid, we say someday. But someday is a dangerous word. Because someday feels like a plan. But sometimes it is just a very polite way of saying, not now. And when not now keeps repeating, it can turn into too late, right? But here is something hopeful that I learned from the play. It is never really too late to change. We know that, right? But change does not start with words. It starts with one uncomfortable step or action. One small step, one decision, one beginning. When I was younger, I thought knowledge would change my life. Now I think decisions change a life. So maybe the question this page is asking is not what do you know, but what are you doing with what you know? Because in the end, life does not change when we understand many things. Life changes when we start doing the things we understand. Maybe that is what the cherry orchard was trying to say all along, right? And so, until the next page turns, I'll be here thinking. This is Jade, Somewhere Between Pages. Thank you.